My girlfriend's best friend feels humiliated by the way I dress, saying I find it disrespectful that you wear such expensive clothes when you know I can't afford them. So I wore even more expensive clothes. I have always been a simple man who, although I don't come from a rich family, has worked hard to afford some quality things. I'm not one to brag, but I like to dress well. For me, the clothes I wear reflect my effort and dedication. They are not a way to humiliate anyone. However, my girlfriend's best friend, Carla, seems to have a serious problem with that. Carla is someone who, despite not having many comforts, feels that others must lower themselves to her level so as not to make her feel bad. Ever since I started dating my girlfriend, I noticed that Carla always made passive-aggressive comments about the things I bought or wore. At first, I didn't give it much thought because I assumed it was just passing envy, but I was wrong. One day, my girlfriend and I met Carla to go out to dinner. I wore a new shirt that I had bought recently, something a little more elegant than usual but nothing out of the ordinary for me. As soon as we arrived at the restaurant, I noticed that Carla was looking at me with a mixture of irritation and annoyance. During dinner, she kept making indirect remarks like, "I don't understand why people spend so much on clothes when we all end up wearing the same thing." In the end, she couldn't resist anymore and exploded. "You know? I find it disrespectful that you wear such expensive clothes when you know I can't afford them. You humiliate me every time I see you. You should be more thoughtful and dress more modestly. Not all of us have your luck." My first reaction was one of surprise. Was she really saying I had to change the way I dressed just because it made her feel bad? I don't consider myself arrogant, but I wasn't willing to let someone dictate how I should present myself, especially someone who clearly had issues with her own ego. I responded calmly, trying not to make a scene. "Carla, I don't wear expensive clothes to make you feel bad. I work hard to buy what I like, and I don't think I should have to change my style just because it doesn't sit well with you. If it makes you feel inferior, I think you should work on yourself, not what I do." The conversation became uncomfortable, but Carla didn't back down. She continued to criticize me, saying I just wanted to show off and that surely my girlfriend also felt bad about being with me. What I didn't expect was that my girlfriend, who had been quiet up until that point, would firmly take my side. "Carla, what you're saying doesn't make sense. He dresses the way he wants, and I love it. He doesn't have to change anything just to make you feel better." Carla stayed quiet for a moment, but I could tell by the look in her eyes that she wasn't going to let it go. At the end of dinner, we barely said goodbye, and I was left with a bad taste in my mouth. My girlfriend called me and told me that Carla had been talking to Ella for hours, saying that I was a loser and that she was tired of feeling inferior when she went out with us. According to Ella, I should be more considerate and stop wearing fancy clothes so that others wouldn't feel bad. She even had the audacity to suggest that my girlfriend should reconsider being with me because men like me only bring long-term problems. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What surprised me most was that, instead of being upset, my girlfriend supported me 100%. She said it was ridiculous that Carla thought she had the right to dictate how I should dress. We didn't know anyone anything, much less Ella. It was then that I decided I would not be intimidated. If Carla wanted to play this game, I was going to do it my way. The next time we went out, I wore a full set of elegant clothes that I usually reserved for special occasions, including shoes and a watch that my grandfather had given me. When we arrived at the restaurant, Carla almost fell out of her chair when she saw me. Her angry face was indescribable. Throughout dinner, she didn't say a word, she just glared at me while I behaved as cordially as possible. My girlfriend, on the other hand, couldn't help but smile. She knew exactly what I was doing and was on my side. At the end of the dinner, Carla exploded again, but this time it was much worse. She screamed that I was brazen, that I was humiliating her on purpose, and that my attitude was disrespectful. The situation escalated. She started badmouthing me in front of everyone and even tried to turn my girlfriend against me, saying she deserved someone better than a conceited person like me. What I didn't expect was my girlfriend's response. Standing in front of Carla, she told her firmly, "Carla, enough. What you're doing is ridiculous. He doesn't have to change for you or anyone. If you can't handle it, maybe you should reconsider who your real friends are." With that, Carla left, furious. That was the last time we saw her. Most ironically, despite her attitude, all she ended up with was losing her best friend and being completely alone.